welcome to episode 540 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian. And this is the only podcast that says...
He's back, motherfuckers! Woohoo! Ian's back. Back again.
Yeah.
Ian's back.
Sing that.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Yeah. It's been 3 months. Don't get me wrong. I love doing the podcast with Nancy. But when I do the podcast with Nancy, it's a completely different podcast.
Yeah.
Because I can't go down the rabbit holes I can go down with you.
Yeah.
So it changes things. And I love doing it with her. And I appreciate her helping me out.
Yeah,
but
me too.
motherfucker, you're back in the hizzy.
I hope.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coughing, so I apologize. So, a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
I'll have an attack. But other than that, I'm okay.
That's good.
It was a beast.
Was.
It was horrible.
I can't even imagine. Now, do you know, like, was this a new, this new strain or
I have no idea.
You have no idea? You just bought for COVID.
Yeah. I thought I had the stomach flu.
Yeah.
And this is, the only reason I'm saying this is because this is not a common symptom.
Yeah.
I mean, 10% of the people have stomach problems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when you told me you had stomach problems, I'm like, are you sure you had COVID?
Yeah.
You're the medical professional. You'd know better than I would.
Yeah. And so I had stomach problems for like 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck. It wasn't, there was no cramping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when you have stomach problems, when you have the virus, the stomach virus,
Yeah.
you usually have cramping and
Yeah.
pain. Mine was just like the urgency to go. I just had to go.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck? Not that everybody wants to hear my shit problems, but
Yeah.
so it went on for 1 day, and then the second day,
Yeah.
and the third day it eased up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, it's getting out. So I went to work.
Yeah.
Well, they had the temperature at work up for some reason to like 78 degrees in this room.
Oh, gee.
And my hat was absolutely soaked.
Yeah.
My cap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said somebody, I was like, you got to turn the heat down. I'm like, I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was real clammy, too.
Mm-hmm.
And about 2 hours later, all the joints in my hands started hurting.
Oh, wow.
Every single knuckle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everything in my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wiped my area down with alcohol and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And went home and just crashed. I was tired.
Yeah.
And the stomach acted up again the next morning. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I was like, maybe I should take a test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it was magenta. It was so blatant.
Like neon lights were around it. Like, yeah, you popped it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it came up immediately.
Yeah.
And the control line barely even came in. And I was like, man, I better take a second test.
Yeah.
And same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of studies have shown that the darker that red line is, because it can be real faint, and you can still have COVID.
Yeah.
But the darker that red line is how contagious and how much virus is in your system.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and then the fever came. About 3 days of fever. The cough, of course.
Yeah.
Not really much congestion, just congestion from the coughing.
Yeah.
I didn't have like tons of nasal drainage. Well, take that back, like 2 days.
Yeah.
But it went away. Yeah, and fever. The joint pain went away like in a day too. It
Yeah.
was just like tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just, it was hell. I don't know. I have no idea where I got it. None.
No.
No, none. There were 3 people at work that got sick at the same time,
Yeah.
but I have no idea how.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all of us had different symptoms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very strange. But yeah, I was like, that stomach shit. And the stomach stuff lasted almost 8 days.
Oh.
And that's what I was worried about. That was
Yeah.
my main concern.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking pounding Gatorade in waters. And it's just coming out of me.
Right.
And I was afraid of getting too dehydrated.
Right. Oh, I'll give him that. Yeah.
Potassium gets fucked up, and then
Yeah.
that's when you end up in the hospital.
Right.
And I thought I was going to have to go into the hospital just to get IV therapy.
Yeah, like potassium IVs and shit like that.
Yeah, or just hydration.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So that's what made me most nervous was I knew I wasn't getting enough in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I knew I wasn't. Because like I said, I mean, I was just pounding liquid.
Yeah, and it's double timing its way out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was crazy. So yeah, that was my experience with COVID.
Wow.
Taking care of hundreds of people
Yeah.
with COVID and never got it.
That sucks.
And then I come down with it
Yeah.
like this. So anyway, yeah. So I made it through that. Thank God.
Yeah.
And I was in this room.
Yeah.
There's no TV.
Uh.
So I'm watching everything on my phone.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. So the only thing that would put me to sleep, I'd stay up for about half of it. The only thing I was watching was I'd get through about half of it and then I'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then half of it the next day.
Yeah.
Next night.
Yeah.
And this is this Egypt series.
Yeah.
On the pyramids and tombs. That's what got me through it.
Wow.
But yeah, it was very odd. Like I said, it was an odd time.
Sounds it.
It was like the worst. But fortunately, I was boosted.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it never made it into my lungs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing about it, too, is I was sick a week before that, too.
Right.
A couple weeks before that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I had it. I tested.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I barely had it or something. I don't know. My system was fighting it off.
Yeah.
And then I got introduced to it again, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And then just blew me apart.
Yeah.
So.
Like your immune system was already weakened.
Yeah.
And then it came barreling in like a bat out of hell.
It did. It was. Yeah, so. But anyway. Yeah. Finished Daryl Dixon. Awesome fucking series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
You've really enjoyed both the spinoffs.
I did, but this Daryl Dixon's better than the Maggie and Negan show.
Okay.
Yeah. Set in France.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, really good.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I like how it's shot. I like the film, the filmography, the whole piece of it.
Right.
Acting's good. Daryl's Daryl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really good. I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah. Well, it's like what's interesting about that is like
Spinoffs usually don't do that well.
Right. But I also remember years ago we talked about like, I don't want to see a Daryl show.
Yeah.
We talked about like Daryl's the lieutenant.
Yeah.
He's Rick's lieutenant. He's the right hand man.
Yeah.
He was never meant to be the lead character.
Yeah.
And so like to have that spin-off show, to have him be the guy, and to have you love it as much as you did because
I do because he's a fish out of water.
Yeah.
He's in France.
Right.
Near Paris.
Right.
He can't read the maps.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's little stuff like that.
Right.
That's like, ooh, yeah, I get that.
Right.
I get he doesn't know where the fuck he is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's Paris. I mean, it's surrounding area, and so there's a lot of fucking zombies around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciated that aspect of the show. You know what I mean? Like I really dug it. The Maggie and Negan show is good too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And I do think it's good, but it's kind of like almost like a continuation.
Right.
Like, but years later.
Yeah.
This isn't like that.
Right.
I mean, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's way different. Tell you what, though, man. All I'm gonna say is he pulls out a fucking chain and spike ball,
Okay.
and that's his weapon of choice.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like,
yeah.
Sam, son.
He's pulled out a mace.
Yeah, it's only about,
Yeah.
But think about it.
Right.
It's a perfect weapon.
Right.
You know what I mean? No one's juking out of the way.
Right.
So you can just fucking fire them off.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. I don't think I've seen the crossbow used once. And he doesn't even have a crossbow.
Yeah.
In this show. I don't think. But he does have this fucking... Yeah, it's badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the characters are really good. The surrounding characters are really good.
Right.
And they did some background there.
Right.
That I really like. So, and it's in a, post-apocalyptic society where, everyone's... Not everyone, but there's communities. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like... And the sets were amazing.
Yeah.
Overgrown.
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah. And so, I finished that. It was fantastic. It was so fucking good. Disappointed that the season wasn't longer.
Yeah, it seems like it was only, 8 episodes?
Yeah, it was like a shorty.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I want more of this.
Yeah. I believe I read that it was greenlit for a season 2.
Oh, I hope to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I think it's better than... I think it's better than the Negan one.
Yeah.
I like the Negan show because I like Negan.
Yeah.
So, when he speaks, I listen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, he really captures that character.
Yeah.
And so, I just love that part of... I like I like the actor.
Yeah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he speaks, you listen.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's in Grey's Anatomy or Watchmen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you kind of clamp onto him when he speaks.
Yeah.
So in this, I, did the same, and he's at a different point in his life.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But yeah, I like that too. And then I finished Ahsoka.
Well.
But I had to wait on that one.
Yeah.
I had to wait forever.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go in that room.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't have the.
You don't want to watch it on your phone.
No.
Yeah. I get that.
And, but I finally watched that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was.
Huh?
It was. Like, I really, really... Like, I think it's going to be interesting, like, to discuss, like, your perception of it versus my perception of it as a fan of, like, the cartoons. And the more background I have based upon what you saw and you liked.
Yeah.
Because, like, that whole thing with, like... And a lot of people were like, Thrawn wasn't that good, and, and I disagree. I thought Thrawn was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved Thrawn. Like, I mean, I loved everything about the show. Like, so it's like, I'm going to gush all over it, but, like, I wasn't disappointed by Thrawn. I thought, the way the Star Destroyer looked with this, it was still damaged from where the Purgle had taken them, away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's how Rebels ends, is it's the Purgle wrapping their tentacles around that Star Destroyer and taking it into hyperspace with Thrawn and Ezra on it.
Yeah.
I loved, like, starting with the episode where, like, when they get to the new galaxy, and they do that, because, like, you have the one episode.
Yeah, I don't know where we left off.
Where we left off was the World Between Worlds.
Okay.
The Ahsoka and Anakin episode.
Okay.
And so, like, the next episode was the one where it was, like, you know, all Sabine, and was when we're introduced to Thrawn and stuff like that. And, like, that episode I loved because, like, you know, there's Ezra. Like, you know, she found out, like, and I was, like, so happy. Like, I knew he was. I mean, you had cast a guy, and you didn't just cast him to be that hologram. So, like, to find Ezra, I was like, you know, it was a little too easy, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, I liked it, like, Sabine had minimal regrets about it because she found Ezra.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, and then the next episode, like, when Ahsoka shows up, the Purg will drop her off. Like, that was, like, completely badass. And, like, and we'll get into the finale, but, like I thought every episode was just really well done once they got all the characters finally together.
Yeah.
Like, all the threads were finally pulled together, and this is, like, the last two episodes were really, like, the finale.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is where we're going now.
Yeah.
And give me your thoughts, and then we'll dive deeper into the finale and the way things played out and stuff.
I liked it. I liked how when she arrived, I loved how she fucking jumped out of that ship. I thought that's so Jedi, dude.
Oh yeah,
fucking badass. And I love how the robot did the ship. Like, he was flying it. He was doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, like, there's a history to that ship.
Yeah.
He's been flying that ship around for years.
Okay.
Like, that was the ship. Like, what they used to do, and they did show this in Clone Wars. As a youngling, you would go to this planet to get your kyber crystal. Mm. And once you had your kyber crystal, you were taken to Haiyun to learn how to build your lightsaber.
Yeah.
And so, like, that ship was, like, the ship that, like, all these younglings, that's why he has all that stuff. Because he's been teaching younglings to build lightsabers for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So, that's why he's, like, so proficient at it. Yeah. Not just because he's a droid, but because that's his ship.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not Ahsoka's, even though she's kind of in control of it now. It's technically his ship.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So I like that part of it.
Uh-huh.
I like the ending with the story in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, the way that episode begins, yeah.
I mean, that was good.
Yeah.
Nice little touch there.
That was.
Yeah. So yeah. I liked the whole thing with her looking for Ezra.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how she befriended that beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how the beast was actually okay. Like, she...
Yeah.
And, like, hid inside the fucking thing with that other guy.
Yeah.
With the other guys. You know what I mean? And he was not trying to attack them or kill them or...
Yeah.
He was just... He wanted to be with her.
Yeah.
And so they touched base there. I thought that was cool. I thought that whole part was cool. Where he came back and followed her. And
yeah.
She knocked him a couple times.
Like, it was the most Sabine moment when she was just like, I told you to get. Like, you know, the way she did, like, I was like, wow, that was Sabine. That was definitely like a cartoon Sabine thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, but he did, you know, he kept on. So I thought that part was cool. I even thought the part with the two other Jedi, well, whatever they are.
Yeah.
I liked their interactions too.
Yeah.
And I liked how he was like, this is your path. This isn't my path.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And his path is very interesting.
Well, we'll get that in a minute.
Yeah.
So, and it's a shame he died, but I really like that character.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Like
No, I agree. Like, I mean, Ray Stevenson, like, that, the character was phenomenal when Ray Stevens was portraying it so well. Like, he was, like, so subtle.
Yeah, he was almost stoic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I loved him. I did. And I loved his interaction with her, too.
Yeah.
So that was good. I mean, I really enjoyed that part of it. And I liked how Ezra was living. It made sense from a Jedi standpoint. On hanging out, keeping low, helping people, you know.
Yeah.
Loved the part when he was like, I don't need a lightsaber. I'm good.
Yeah.
I just use the Force. I'm all right.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, son.
That's bold.
Have you been practicing?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess he probably has. He's been there
Yeah.
so long, he's probably been just using Force powers.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the look of him,
Yeah.
you know. Made sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just came across as very kind.
Yes.
You know, like a kind individual.
Right.
Like warming.
Yeah.
Like more warming than Luke. Like what I'm trying to say is like he just came across. You know, it's funny. Out of all the Jedi I've encountered in shows and everything like that, he's probably the most warm Jedi I've ever seen on screen. Or
Right.
he's just very. Not only is he calming, but he seems to like everything.
Well, he has one of his abilities, or like his innate ability, is he has a very strong connection to living things. Which is why, like, when Ahsoka was talking to the Purgle, like, she's like, I think we know where we're going. You know, he knew. Like, he could speak with animals like that.
Okay.
Like, he had a very innate ability to communicate with animals, which is why the Purgle helped him take Thrawn to the new galaxy.
Yeah.
Because he was able to communicate what he wanted them to do to help him. Like, there were other moments, you know, where he communicated with animals like that, and it was like just one of those things where, like, he has a very strong connection to the living force.
Okay.
You know, so like that, when you talk about like him being warming and that, like, that makes sense because his character arc through Rebels and stuff was a connection to the living force that was stronger than what most people had.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely portrayed if that's it, because I didn't know the backstory.
Yeah.
I'm just going off of what I saw. That's
Right.
why we're talking about it.
Right.
But I just felt like he was very comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He wasn't a crazy man.
No.
He wasn't fucking Randy Quaid out there.
No.
What I'm saying is, like,
Yeah.
he was just, you know, this is my life. I'm going to make the best I can do with it. I'm going to help these guys out, and we're going to talk. And
Yeah.
you know,
Like, he found the naughty.
yeah,
And, like, you know, these are my friends, and I'm going to help them out. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love that aspect.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he found them.
Yeah.
I like their defense thing. I thought that was cool. That was a good
Yeah.
move
the
there.
Turtling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I didn't even mind that they were throwing rocks or whatever. Like, it was still better than the Battle of Endor.
Right, because it wasn't as effective, but it was like, it makes sense that that's like what they would have.
That's all they have.
Yeah.
So they're going to throw a rock or
Yeah.
a piece of equipment at these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know. So, yeah, I like that. You can tell that there's a brother-sister relationship there,
Yeah.
which came across
Yeah.
pretty solid, actually.
Yeah.
And the only thing that got on my nerves is, like, the only thing that really got on my nerves is she just wouldn't tell him what was going on.
Yeah.
And that kind of got on my nerves. I mean, you've gone all this way, you're here,
Yeah.
blah, 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 X, Y, and Z's already happened.
Yeah, you gotta explain yourself.
And it happened like 3 times during this show. And I'm
Yeah.
like, just fucking get on with it.
Yeah.
So he knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, exactly. I felt the same way.
I was like, why do we keep bypassing? We're fucking
Yeah.
roping around this here. And it's just like,
Yeah.
just fucking, just fucking
Yeah.
do it, Just
Yeah.
didn't make any sense to me.
No, I agree. Like that did annoy
We don't
me
need
as well.
we don't need dramatic effect. It's already dramatic enough.
Right.
Yeah. Friends of yours, kind of, or whatever she said.
Yeah.
Where she goes, no, and she still wouldn't tell him what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Fucking 2 Jedis up there, dark Jedis or whatever the fuck they are.
Right.
And you're still not going to tell him anything about it?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he know at this point? I
Yeah.
mean, shouldn't he like say, hey, these guys are Force users?
Yeah. Let me throw you a clue, okay? I fucked up to get to you.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine. Just admit it.
Yeah.
And just move on.
Yeah.
You're not 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not even a teenager anymore.
Right.
Just fucking, let's do this. So anyway, the battle was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was too quick. I really appreciated Thrawn's arc on... Let me say this a different way. I really appreciated Thrawn's manipulation of events that was going on. Everything was purposeful. And,
Right.
and I really appreciated that aspect of it.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? And he was like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, like people were like, I read online, people were like, he wasn't like the,
Everything was calculated.
like, yeah, he was like, he was only sending 2 TIE fighters because that's all he could spare. That's all he wanted to spare. He's working on limited resources and he knows this. And so, no, he's not going to commit resources. And especially, like, there's that moment where, like, when Ahsoka shows up
Yeah.
and Balin Scroll does not engage.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, that changes everything. Let's pull our people the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't I didn't anticipate that happening. And so because of that, we need to pull away.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get anybody else killed.
Yeah. And it was stuff like that.
Is Balin that powerful?
I don't think he's that powerful. I think it's just a matter of he was counting on
Both of them.
Yeah, his 2 Jedi against Ahsoka and Ezra.
Yeah.
Like that's and he's thinking they're powerful enough that they can cancel out Ahsoka and Ezra. And then once they're canceled out, my forces should be sufficient to take out what's left.
Right.
Yeah. So when that doesn't happen, now they can't, 2 powerful Jedi plus a Mandalorian. No, the odds aren't in my favor any longer. I'm going to pull my people away.
Yeah. I love that about the Mandalorian armor too.
Yeah.
Deflecting shots like that.
Yeah.
How it's bulletproof in
Yeah.
a sense. Dude.
Oh yeah.
And they've done that pretty well in all the series so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they get hit, and you can see them get hit.
Yeah.
I mean, like it
moves them.
It
Yeah.
moves them, and it affects them.
Yeah.
But they still fucking keep going. And she pulled out some tricks too with fucking.
Yeah.
When they start pulling them tricks out of that Mando armor, that Mandalorian armor, I'm just like, damn. Whether it be fire or cord twists or whatever. The best was the butterfly missiles that came out of Mando.
Yeah.
I thought those were fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The Whistlers.
so incredible.
Yeah.
But they always have fire. There's always a fire aspect. But yeah, I fucking loved it. I loved how Ezra was moving through and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love seeing that side of the Force in use.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it that much. I remember watching the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, they're using Jedi. They're using the Force Run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Force jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was so excited to see that shit on screen.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. It's no longer the days as these are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing all kinds of shit. And so when Ezra started doing his thing, I was like, dude, that's fucking wicked. and she looked good in battle. Sabine looks really good in battle
Oh yeah.
with a gun.
Yeah, when she's got the 2 guns, like going full Mando. Oh yeah.
I mean, she looks like a Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and she fights like a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Well, that was like there's a great moment in the Rebels cartoon where she has a dark saber, and they understand the lore behind it. So, Kanan, who's the Jedi, is trying to teach her to use it because it's essentially like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Hera, and he's like, I just can't get through to her. She's just, and Hera is so Mandalorian. It's like, yes, because she, so like, that's what makes the finale so exciting.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that people hated about The Last Jedi that this sells you is technically anybody can tap into the Force.
Yeah.
Some people are just more attuned to it than others.
Yeah.
Sabine, being a Mandalorian, is stubborn enough that she has a very hard time tapping into the Force.
Yeah.
But as she was told episodes ago, the moment you need it, it'll be there for you.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I loved getting into the ending. Like, everything about that finale just worked for me.
Okay.
Like, when they decide, like, when they go into the fortress and, there's all those stormtroopers and, they just take them out. I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say that, but it's like, I knew, what the witches were going to do.
Yeah.
But it was like one of those things where it was like, here's 20 stormtroopers against 3 lightsaber users.
Yeah.
One of them in Beskar Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what?
And one of them's pretty much a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
By this point.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
she's not some young schooler.
No. But Ezra also knows his way around the lightsaber, and as we've talked, he's pretty fucking good at the Force as well.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things where I was like, well, these 20 stormtroopers are just going to get laid to waste.
Yeah.
And then when the witches brought them back as zombies, I was like, okay, I'm right there.
Yeah.
Did that fuck with you at all? Like, because I know some people did, but I also know, like, again, like in the episode of Clone Wars, when Dooku went to Dathmor to take out the witches, this was shit that they did then.
Okay.
So it was like one of those things where it was like, some people were like, oh, I can't believe they did that. Oh, that's such bullshit. I'm like, they've already done it once in a cartoon. I'll let it fly.
Right.
So it didn't bother me as much.
I didn't care.
Yeah. But it was like some people in there were like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm like, nah, it's not. I've seen it before.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah. But what I loved was the 2 troopers at the top. Like, they were full-blown zombies. When that one guy, like, part of his helmet cut off, you could see, like, he was like, he's been dead for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't much left underneath there.
Half his forces are dead.
Yeah. That's but I also think, like, all that cargo they were taking back, I think, were the witches of Dathmor, which is why they show up at Dathmor first.
Okay.
Because I think those were, like, because the witches, there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like there was like 3. There was a planet full of them.
Yeah.
And I think, like, because Palpatine got pissed because, of Maul, and then Palpatine sent Dooku to the witches to get another Maul, and they got his brother, who wasn't nearly as effective, and Palpatine was pissed for the failure, and he's like, fuck it, just take him the fuck out, and that's when I think Dooku and Grievous were both sent to take out the witches. And
Dude, that's kind of wicked.
Yeah. And the witches were like, fuck this shit. We'll show you. You know?
Yeah.
But I think that's what happened is like they all went home, so to speak.
I think Grievous was a really interesting character.
He was.
But he just wasn't shown.
In the movie, obviously not.
Yeah.
You know, he's nothing more than a mustache-rolling villain, but in the cartoon...
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
but again, like in the cartoon, he's expanded upon quite a bit.
I wish they fleshed that out a little bit more in the movie.
Yeah.
Because he just seemed like some kind of all-powerful droid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when he started wielding those lightsabers, I was like,
yeah.
damn, that's badass.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, dude, that's... So anyway, yeah, keep going about what you like.
But, like... I'm just trying to collect my thought here. Like, Sabine staying behind, like, made sense. Like, she wasn't going to abandon Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You know, like, there was, like... And Thrawn, like, I was, like, at that moment when, like, Thrawn's like, I want to know everything about Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
And, like, the first thing, like, he's told, well, her master was Anakin Skywalker. I was like, oh, shit. Because he's probably the only person outside of Palpatine that knows Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's that guy who's just like, okay, fuck. I know what that motherfucker's like.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
So...
He was pretty good with the Force.
Well, not only that, but, like, his tactics. Like, his relentlessness.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, what's shown in the cartoon was, like, he's not going to give up.
Who, Vader?
Anakin.
Oh, okay.
Like, Vader, too. Like, I mean, like, because that's the thing. Like, so he knows, like, Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader. So he knows what Vader is.
Yeah.
But he's going back and he's studied Anakin Skywalker and his tactics.
Yeah.
Because that's what Thrawn does. Like, Thrawn probably studied, like, everything about the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, if he ever comes across somebody from the Clone Wars, okay, this is their tactics, this is what they do, this is what I can do to stop them.
Yeah.
Like, and with Anakin Skywalker, he was probably like, well, if you're the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker, that means you will do some fucked up shit. You're going to be unpredictable. And I can't play you the way I can other people. So my best option is to keep you at arm's length at all times.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he did. Like, he's just like, we need to fucking go.
Yeah, he didn't want any part of her.
No. Because he knows she's Anakin's apprentice.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have that relentlessness that Anakin does. And it played well, because, I mean, like, he was even just like, I knew you were going to do this, and I had to rush my timetable because of it, but you know what? It's worth it to say, fuck you, see you later.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with her.
No, nothing.
He wanted to get her as far away from him as possible. Which made sense.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
It was.
What do you think about C-3PO coming in? I liked it.
I
didn't mind it at all.
I didn't mind it. Because first off, it's a great cameo.
It made sense.
It made sense. That's 100% made sense.
Yeah.
But it was like, you can't have Leia show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't. But you're involving her. You've dropped her name twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now you've got to... And so here comes 3PO to save the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, when they're like, we're going to not allow some mere droid. And Chopper was in the back like, let me at that motherfucker.
I know, I remember.
Chopper, like...
Yeah, I know.
I'm just waiting for the next Chopper. And now for the war criminal Chopper.
Yeah. But fucking C-3PO put him in check.
Yeah.
He was like, no, motherfucker.
Let's talk.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
This is who I am now.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Yeah, exactly. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of C-3PO, but I liked him in this role. I liked how he came in.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was a good callback, and it was The callbacks are good, but they make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just some, you know, some dumbass callback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it would make sense that she would send C-3PO.
Yeah.
Because the council is obviously dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For
Yeah.
Leia to even come.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, but it also points to, like, yeah, I'm really fucking busy. And this shit was on my watch. So here's my envoy
Yeah.
to deliver the official documentation that you need.
Yeah.
And go fuck yourself.
I didn't know her and Hera were that tight.
They're not. No, at least not, like, from the standpoint of, like, any great relationship is ever established in the cartoons. But, like, it's that thing, though, of, like, you know, during the war, like, once the war gets fully rolling, like, after, like, really after, like, because there's a moment in Rogue One on Yavin 4, if you look in the background, you see Chopper.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, it was like and it was like that nod to, like, all the Rebels fans, like, ah! And if you listen closely in the background, you hear a call for General Syndulla.
Okay.
Which wasn't Hera at the time, it was actually her father.
Okay.
But also, at the Battle of Scarif, if you look closely, you can find the ghost.
Okay.
The ghost is there. So, like, they do, like, you do see that and you hear that, but it's just like, it's one of those things where, like, I would imagine during the war, like, Hera would have been, like, it's not something Leia would have leaned on, but, like, I'm sure there were times where, like, Hera became involved in things.
Yeah.
And so because of that, Leia sees her for what she is, a smuggler turned hero, just like Han.
Yeah.
And now here's a resource I can use because I know what she's capable of.
Yeah.
You know. And then you follow up with, like, what's her resume? Well, this is what they did on Lothal as a group. You know, you just kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together, and it makes sense that Leia would have a relationship with Hera just because of her background.
Do you think this is an introduction to Luke and Leia at this age?
Well, I mean, we've already seen Luke.
Well, yeah, but we've seen Luke in digital form.
Right.
But
Like, I don't think so, because I don't, like, it becomes that weird thing of, okay, what's going to happen with Thrawn? Like, what do you do a second, I feel like you have to do a second season of Ahsoka to get to the movie that they're going to do.
yeah.
And part of that, like, it becomes, like, are Han, Luke, and Leia the heroes of the story?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that, like, if you bring them in, because
Yeah. I don't want that.
no, it overshadows Ahsoka, Hera, Sabine, and Ezra. And I feel like they're the heroes of this story. They're you know, maybe along with the Mandalorian, who, in, like, his new role, working with Carson, the X-Wing pilot,
Yeah.
like, doing what he's going to be doing, like, okay, yeah, now here's Thrawn. There's a lot of Imperial stuff going on. Like the whole thing has
Yeah,
to come.
it's kind of exciting to have Mando come into this group.
Yeah, because, like, there's going to be that. I mean, we saw the Shadow Council already.
Yeah.
You know, we saw, you know, Admiral Pelion, who in the Thrawn books is, like, he's Thrawn's right hand man.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's, like, hearkening, like, you know, Thrawn's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like that thing of, like, well, the Imperial Shadow Council has got to be brought together under Thrawn. So like the next season of The Mandalorian may be stuff about like, well, there's all this Imperial activity now.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I've been piecing together. You know, you throw in Ezra coming back to Home One and saying that Hera, like, you know, yeah, Thrawn's back. You know, the like, even like Mon Mothra is kind of like, how serious is this threat? And Hera's like, it's really fucking serious.
Yeah.
Like, I would buckle down. You know.
Yeah.
Because war's coming. You know, it's shit like that it's like, I can see like you said, like the next season of Mandalorian that being that, and you bring in the next season of Ahsoka to get Ahsoka back to the known galaxy, and then lastly, that takes you to the movie,
Yeah.
which is the war with Thrawn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Mando coming in contact with these three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially Sabine. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because for some reason I miss his voice. I don't know what it is. I was like, I need to hear,
Yeah.
like, I need to hear Mando again.
Yeah.
You know, because it's so monotone.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I need to hear it again. You know, even when he's talking to Grogu, he's still monotone.
Yeah.
Which I love. It's a great piece. I mean, it's a great way. It's a great aspect of that character.
But also would like Ezra have a better understanding of Grogu's, like, you know what I mean, like his connections and stuff, and respect enough, and like say, yeah, I'll train the little guy.
You think?
It's a possibility.
Possibility.
Like, I can see that work. Like Luke, because Luke is like, like Luke did like the ultimate Sith thing. He's like, here's an absolute. You either take the lightsaber,
I know,
or
dude.
you take the mail. Which is it, little fucker? And little fucker like, I'm going back to my dad.
Yeah, Daddy's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw me in an X-wing and tell that droid to take me home. And so it's like, I feel like Ezra may have a better understanding.
Yeah.
You know.
And Grogu's powerful with the Force.
Yeah.
That species must be powerful with the Force.
Right. But like also, like, I mean.
But it's a living thing.
Right. But also like his connection he had with like the Rancor to get the Rancor to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That would have been a very Ezra thing.
Okay.
You know, again, a connection to the living Force.
Right.
You know. So like I could see like Ezra saying like, yeah, we share a lot in common. I don't eat frog, but you know. Hey, whatever works for you, buddy.
Right.
You're the apex predator when it comes to that.
Yeah,
you know?
right. No, I look forward to, you know, things to come. It's exciting to me.
Right.
But like I said, Boba Fett was kind of disappointing until we got to Mando.
Yeah.
You know, there was aspects of Boba Fett that I liked, especially when he was like hostage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that part. And I was like, oh, this could be great.
Yeah, the Sand People stuff with Boba Fett was amazing.
Oh man.
And like the current storyline was just like meh.
Until Mando came in, and I'm like, and he kind of saved the day in a way.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of Mando.
Yeah.
I like his journey so far, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm excited to see what else they're going to do. I like the path that they're going here.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a movie, yes.
Yeah.
But I like this path. I'm in. Put it this way. I'm into these miniseries
Yeah.
that we're having right now more than I ever was with Marvel.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
it does.
I mean, I liked the miniseries with Marvel. I thought there were some good ones. I mean, I liked Loki, and I liked them all. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is more my vibe. And I'm a huge Marvel guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I can appreciate what they're doing. But I just feel that I like this path because it's so new. You know, to me.
Right. Well, I mean, also, like, I think, like, Marvel's, like, dropped the ball, unfortunately. And I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was really, really good. Loki was really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, Hawkeye was really, really good. And then, like, it's like, then they did, like, Miss Marvel, which, like, I thought was, like, really well done. But obviously, they weren't aiming for me with that show.
Right.
She-Hulk was meh.
Other than the parts with Hulk.
Right. Or I mean, in the episode with Daredevil, you know.
Yeah.
But like overall, like that show was just kind of like meh. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't overly like I thought the ending was ass, but like overall, I thought the show was just meh.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion was fucking awful.
Yeah, it was.
Like I can't believe that that's what they did with Secret Invasion. Like what a waste.
Right.
You know. And I mean, I'm watching Loki season 2, and season 2's been fantastic. So two
I didn't
episodes
even know
in,
it was out.
Yeah, 2 episodes. They're both really, really good. The kid who played Short Round, he's not a kid anymore. I mean, he's won a fucking Academy Award.
Yeah.
But he's in it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like prominent role too.
Is he good?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, like Loki season 2, like 2 episodes in, I'm like, man, this is hitting on all cylinders again. Like, why can't they do this shit with the other shit? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like it's.
I've kind of gotten away from Marvel.
Yeah.
Like I kind of on purpose. I don't even read articles that come up. I'm just like, good. I'm waiting for the next Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Just because that excites me.
Yeah.
I love Deadpool.
Right.
I always have. I was a collector. I like the character.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm waiting for that movie. I'm excited that Wolverine is in it.
Yeah.
Which excites me even more.
Right.
You know, their interaction I want to see.
Right.
I just hope, I'm praying that with Deadpool 3, he keeps that element with the female. And usually I would not say that.
Yeah.
Because usually, there's always a romance in a movie. Even an action movie, it's just so predictable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was a different...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like a different romance.
Yeah.
Those are two fucked up people.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And so... And I found that in Deadpool 2, I found that the most intriguing thing about the movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, I felt that, like, when he went to that other realm,
Yeah.
you know, and he couldn't break through, and then he broke through.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I thought that was the most intriguing part of that movie.
Yeah.
That just...
The depth of his sorrow.
Yeah, and, well, the depths of his heart.
Yeah.
I mean, he loved her.
Right.
You know? But I just hope they keep that in this movie.
Yeah.
Plus, it's what's her name?
Yeah.
You know. She was good at that.
Oh yeah. No doubt about it.
No, she was so good. That's the other sad piece. It's like, oh, Serenity.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so I did watch something today,
All right.
and I hate to talk about it because it wasn't that good.
Okay.
It was a movie. I found it on Netflix. It's called The Misfits. Now, the reason I watched this is it had Pierce Brosnan in it, and it was a heist movie.
Yeah, I saw it and I kept passing over it.
And it's directed by Rennie Harlan. Now, people out there are like, who the fuck is Rennie Harlan? Well, Rennie Harlan directed the second Die Hard movie. But most importantly, he directed one of my all-time favorite action movies, A Long Kiss Goodnight.
Okay.
Because Rennie Harlan was married to Gina Davis and was trying to turn Gina Davis into an action star for some reason. I don't know why, but that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
But, so, like, I'm going to watch a Rennie Harlan movie starring Pierce Brosnan in a heist movie? Fuck yeah. Yeah, not that good.
Okay. I'm okay.
I was bummed. I mean, like, there are some moments I'm entertained by, but overall, it just wasn't that good.
Yeah.
And, like, what's worse is, like, I mean, it wastes a good Tim Roth. Like, I'm expecting, like, an over-the-top Tim Roth. I'm getting a very calm, cool, collected Tim Roth. I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
You know, that's not what I want from Tim Roth.
Right.
You know, and it was just, like, I hate to be like, oh, it was horrible, but it wasn't that good. I was bummed.
Right.
Like 2 hours later, I was bummed out I watched that.
That sucks.
Yeah. I want to recommend to you. It's that thing, you don't have to have watched the other 9 movies to watch this. But you need to watch Fast X.
Oh my god. Okay.
Here's the only reason why. Not because it's a good movie. Not because it's not just batshit crazy. It's because of Momoa. It is absolutely 100% because of Momoa.
Really?
Yes. I told this to Nancy, and I'm going to tell it to you. I feel like the director, and maybe even Vin, went to Jason Momoa and said, we'd really like you to be in this movie. And I know, you know, it's Fast 10 and, you know, everything that's involved with it. But we want you to be the Joker.
Okay.
Because that's what it's like Jason Momoa playing the Joker.
Okay.
Only he's not the Joker. He's...
Yeah.
But his insanity and his brilliance are Joker-esque. And it's very, like, he is, like, so over the top. It's phenomenal.
Really?
Yes. Like, if for no other reason, and you'll hate the movie, like, you'll watch this, you'll be like, this is fucking awful. There is so much batshit crazy, stupid stuff that takes place in these movies that it's just, like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was just invested in the series, I probably wouldn't watch it. But for Momoa alone, just to see his performance,
Right.
it is worth the price of admission.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You'll hate it, but you'll love Momoa.
Okay.
Like, the rest of it, you're going to be like, that's bullshit. Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much bullshit that takes place in this. Like, the laws of physics are defied so many times in this movie. But Momoa is amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah. So how's your fantasy team doing?
Oh, God. Everyone's fucking out. I mean, good gravy. It's... I mean, there was one point where I didn't have a running back. I still don't have a running back. I mean, I do. I picked up one. But I mean, like...
Yeah.
It's just so bad. I mean, like, if you look at my fantasy lineup, like, all you see is O's.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, of course they're winning because there's nobody for me to play.
Yeah. Like, I thought about making a trade with you.
Yeah.
After we played each other.
Yeah.
And I was looking at your roster. I'm like, man, there is nothing I want.
No, there's nothing.
Like, there's nothing that can help me, and there's nothing I want.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
I thought about trading 2 of Tia Vungaloa.
Yeah.
I thought, man, he needs a quarterback. He's starting Daniel Jones. That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, like...
And I thought, well...
And now he's out.
Yeah, and I thought, well, I'll trade Tua to him. Let me see what I can get in return.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Like,
I mean, there's some wideouts there.
But I don't... Like, that's the problem. Like, I don't need wideouts.
Right. There's no running backs on my squad.
And, in all honesty, that's the other thing. Like, I'm looking at it, and this is the weirdest thing, because I'm 4-1.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on wood right now as I say this. And it's such a weird season for me because this is the first time I can remember where I haven't spent every week scouring the waiver wire looking for people. Looking for that hidden gem. That guy who he may have a big week because he saw X amount of playing time.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. Like, my team has been so solid. It's like, I'm scared. Because I've never had a team this good.
I mean, I fucking pick up Baker Mayfield, for Christ's sakes.
That's not a bad pickup.
I dropped him because I needed a fucking running back.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, everyone I have, I mean, my running back, Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Well, that killed you because, I mean, not that I thought you were going to catch me because I had like a 20-some-odd point lead on you.
Yeah.
Going into that Monday night game. And then, like, A.J. Dillon's out. Like, I was like, oh, man, poor Ian. That sucks.
Not Dylan, Jones.
Jones, yeah.
Like,
you had that Packers running back that was, like, declared out at the last minute. I'm like, man, that sucks for Ian.
yeah.
Good for me. Sucks for you.
Jones is out. Not that it matters, but Daniel Jones is out in QB.
Yeah.
Gibbs is out, running back from Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it just... It's like this awful trench that I'm in right now. And it's like, yeah, Jamar Chase, great. You know what I mean? Like, he put a 40-pointer up.
Yeah. He kept you in that fucking game.
He did. But, I mean, it's just like...
Like, it was a rout until Jamar Chase hit the field.
I know.
I was like, holy fuck.
But it's just week to week, it's like someone's out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's a fucking nightmare. No, really.
Yeah.
A nightmare.
I can imagine.
And it's like, there's nobody to pick up. I mean, there's no running backs to pick up. Period.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, this is the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I need somebody. But it's
like at this point, I'd be like watching like Matthew Berry, and I'd be like scouring like Twitter accounts, and like who's that guy that's gonna? He's seen a kick, you know, his play share has increased over the week. You know, like I would always be looking for that guy. And like this year's the first year.
You're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, like you know, it's like very weird feeling. And then, like on top of it all, like what makes it even worse is it's like, and everybody's producing.
Yeah, and I got an A in the draft.
Yeah.
I wish I would have drafted.
Yeah, like I can't believe like I've had the only time I lost, like there was like one guy, like I was like, man, if I would have substituted this guy for this guy, I would have won this game.
Yeah.
Because I had like 3 guys on my bench who each scored like 30 points.
Yeah, I had that. I had so much.
You know, but even that game, like I still scored like 110 points. I was like, you know, right there.
Yeah,
I lost by 4. You know?
Yeah.
So it was like that thing of like, it's tough to complain.
Well, there was at some point where I was like, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, like you get to a point where you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And you have to start your guy that's possibly going to play.
Yeah.
Or not possibly going to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to start him because you don't have a choice on what you want to do.
Right.
You know, because there are people that you definitely want to start. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nightmare. It is. This is the worst. I look at it every day. And there's just no one out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nowhere in wide receivers. There's no one in the running back, especially running backs. I mean, that's why I picked up Warren. I had to fucking start Warren.
Yeah.
And he still got me like 10 points one week. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, I had to start Warren because I had no other running back to go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way that some players are out, and then the bye week hits,
Yeah.
and I'm just fucked. It's very frustrating.
I can imagine. 'Cause I've been there. Like
Yeah.
I've been there, and like I've, like you feel like you're in quicksand. It's like, man, like I'm trying to pick up this guy, and
Yeah.
you know, everybody's saying that this guy maybe he's gonna be a guy, and you know, oh, he doesn't do anything for me. Like, you know, it's like, oh, this is a nightmare.
I was so frustrated with Jones.
Or like you had that guy like I had like last year with Taylor,
Yeah.
who like, you know, like you can't miss. This is the one guy that I can't miss on, and he had a horrible season, was out like half the year with injury, and we did play. He played like garbage.
Yeah.
Like it was like, holy shit, you know, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like stuff like that where you just like, you're like literally in like quicksand. Like everything you do just makes it worse.
It is.
Yeah.
Speaking of football, I went to the Hub today.
Okay.
You know the Hub.
Yeah, the Hub. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking around, and I always go to the one spot, lower level.
Yeah.
Always has cards.
Yeah.
My card guy's gone.
Yeah.
Up top.
Yeah.
He has the old cards, and
Yeah.
yeah. That's where I got the Theismann.
Yeah.
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 So, but the guy down low is the one that sold, like, the unopened
Yeah, like that box of like the
vendor packs. Yeah, yeah, with the Barry Bonds and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was like, shit. Yeah. So I went down. I went down there again, and I'm like, what's he got? And in like the past year, he has not produced like very good stuff.
Yeah.
You know. So I went down there today, and they had what was it? Well, this was I didn't buy it, but I thought about it. Wax packs.
Yeah.
1986 wax packs.
Okay, yeah.
There was 7 wax packs for $50. I was like, it was good.
Yeah.
There's some names there, in those wax packs in '86 baseball,
Yeah.
and I passed that up. But there were some football cards,
Yeah.
and I'm always into football cards. That's my thing. And they had 88 tops.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, it's all right. Like $1.50 a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad,
No.
you know. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy 10 wax packs. Seriously,
Yeah.
not wax pack. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the feeling of a rip pack.
Yeah. Unopened packet.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So I bought all these wax packs, and I bought a 91 too. And I bought like 3 91s and mostly 88.
Right.
So I opened these wax packs up, and I'm like, junk. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know who to look for.
Yeah.
It's the big names,
Yeah.
especially back then, because the market was semi over flooded at that point. Semi.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten there to
91.
90, 91, 92.
Yeah.
But at that point of the game, we're still there. Right?
Yeah.
So the first pack I opened was Jerry Rice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what was on the other side? A bunch of fucking bubblegum residue.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
But I did, out of all those wax packs, I ended up picking up an Andre Rare rookie and 3 Bo Jackson rookies.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, Bo's got to be worth some money.
I haven't looked yet.
Yeah. All right, so I want to do a public service announcement right now, if I may.
Okay.
Pittsburgh. Nobody likes him. The Steelers are not going to fire their offensive coordinator midseason.
Right.
No matter what you think, no matter what the offensive coordinator mid-year.
I say why not? I'm
What you're doing is you're going to end up taking the quarterback coach and moving him up to offensive playbook. Maybe somebody can take that playbook and make some chicken salad out of that chicken scratch.
right.
But it's still the same plays.
No, I hear you. But I think the guy just needs removed from the Seattle organization.
Right. I agree. I 100% agree with you. But my problem is this. He is a human being. He has a wife. He has kids. Like, could you imagine...
He has a contract. I'm sure he's paid.
Right. Right. But at the same time, can you imagine... Like, you're already the most hated man in Pittsburgh. Like, I understand at a Steelers game, if you want to chant Fire Canada, that makes complete sense. Why are we chanting it at Penguins games?
I have no idea.
Like, and they've done it 3 games in a row.
I didn't know that.
Like, they were in Washington and a Fire Canada chant broke out. I've watched professional wrestling, and there are Fire Canada signs in the stands at professional wrestling matches.
That's crazy.
There are Fire Canada signs on College game day. Like, this whole Fire Canada thing has taken on a life of its own. And I honestly, like, do I believe the man should be relieved of his duty at the end of the season? 100%. But I also feel bad for the guy right now because you can't even, like, turn on, like, professional wrestling without it being thrown in your face that, oh, look, there's a Fire Canada sign in the stands.
Well, I think what did him in, seriously, is because I went to the game.
Yeah.
I went to...
The Ravens game?
Yes.
Okay.
Coughing, you know.
Yeah.
But I did get it, and I caught that vibe.
Yeah.
But at the same point, when you come out, and I heard this on the announcers, I think I texted you as soon as I heard it, I texted you, I think. Maybe I texted G. But when he was like, not the Ravens game, but before, when they were like, yeah, we're...
The Cleveland game?
Maybe. Our offense isn't really built around coming back. I'm like... That... I get it.
He says that was taken out of context, though.
He still said it.
Right.
I mean, how much context do you need?
I can't remember. Like, he said what the full quote was, and they just took a partial of that and used it.
Yeah.
But... Like, it's that thing. Like, I get it. Like, again, like, I agree. Like, the guy's awful, and I had hope for him
Yeah.
because he was the play caller at Pitt, and he was the play caller. I mean, that was the year like James Conner single-handedly beat Clemson, the number 1 team in the country in Clemson. You know, Matt Canada recruited Kenny Pickett to come to Pitt. You know, and then he left to go to I think it was LSU. So it's that thing of like. I had hope that he could, like, once he got Pickett, you know, because, I mean, Ben was Ben. And you can't run an innovative offense around Ben Roethlisberger. You can't run a, you know, run-throw option offense with Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger, at his age, limited what you could do.
Yeah.
100%. Plus, that offensive line limited what you could do 100%.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm looking at this offense, And it especially when you watch like other offense, like when you watch San Francisco, or you watch Kansas City, or you watch Miami, like guys are open.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just talking like Tyreek Hill open. I'm talking like guys are running wide open. The play concepts, the things that they do, the way they build towards a play, like it's infuriating that like I feel like Matt Canada's offense is like a Madden 2010 offense.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's very
predictable,
like uncreative
at best.
At best, and that's what's infuriating.
And I don't want to be the armchair quarterback here.
Right.
No, seriously, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But when you, how many screens are we going to see? I mean, and how many? Why on God's green earth? I'm going to call it the play. Shotgun on 3rd and whatever.
Oh yeah, against the Browns, the one against the Browns, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that was against Houston.
I mean, are you for real?
Yeah, that was awful. That was one of the worst play calls I've ever seen. And
Ever.
And it's predictable. Like if they're in shotgun, they're throwing the ball. If Kenny's under center, they're handing it off.
Yeah.
Like it's that predictable almost.
Yeah, and they know what's coming.
Yeah. And
but that leaves you to what I'm saying is you have to rely on Calvin Austin and George Pickens to make this fucking fantastic catch.
Yeah.
Which is that's what you're relying on.
Yeah.
Because your offense is so predictable.
Yeah.
Now, it will help that, what's his name, is back.
Deontay Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the guy's always open.
Yeah.
I mean, I have much respect for Deontay Johnson. Because that guy is always open.
He's AB light.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. And the thing is this, as much as I like George Pickens, he's a second receiver. Mm-hmm. He had and Austin's a third, but Deontay is the alpha. He's the guy. He's your number one. And I mean, George Pickens is better off with Deontay Johnson on the field.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Calvin Austin will be better off with Deontay Johnson on the field
because Deontay always gets open.
Right. But also, now coverage may move away from them a little bit to Deontay, which now you're putting them in a one-on-one
situation, which is going to let you float the ball.
Right.
But is Kenny Pickett the answer?
I will freely admit that I don't feel he's taken the step forward that I thought he was going to take.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't know if the reason for that is him or it's poor coaching.
I mean, I've seen some bad throws.
He has made some bad throws. There's no doubt about it. But also, he has that clutch gene. And by that, I mean the game winner to Pickens against the Ravens. You saw it last year against the Ravens, against the Raiders at the end of the season.
Yeah.
He has that ability where as long as you keep him in the game, he'll figure out a way to win the game.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I must.
So, the problem becomes you want him to be Josh Allen, you want him to be Patrick Mahomes, you want him to be Tua, you want him to be Herbert.
Yeah, I get it.
You want him to be that guy, and he might not be that guy, but he's that guy who maybe he doesn't throw for 350 yards, and you can put the game on his back. But if you give him an opportunity, he can win the game for you.
Okay.
Now, my hope is they fire the offensive coordinator, they fire the quarterback's coach, they bring in some young people with creative minds, somebody who can really take Kenny and take him to that next level. That's my hope. Because, again, I feel like part of it is coaching. And I'm not alleviating Kenny of all of it. Like, he has not taken the full step forward, but then you see moments where you're just the play to Pickens for the touchdown against the Ravens, that was an audible. That's an audible the Canada allowed him to make. He looked up, he saw one-on-one coverage to George Pickens and said, he can beat that. I'm just throwing it deep.
Yeah.
I'm making an audible. George knows, and we're just hucking and chucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is what a great player can do.
Okay.
I feel like if he could start off quicker, and maybe Deontay helps with that.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, but I also just feel like man, you get somebody more attuned with a quarterback. I would love to see them. The rumor is Byron Leftwich has reached out to the Steelers and they haven't returned his call, but they're not going to. Now, maybe in the offseason they do.
Yeah.
And, Byron Leftwich he's a very good offensive coordinator, in my opinion. And I feel like they needed a scapegoat last year in Tampa Bay for Tom Brady's last year.
Yeah.
Without saying, Tom Brady stunk, so they fired Byron Leftwich. But I feel like he's a pretty good play caller. He learned from Bruce Arians. So he's going to have that Bruce Arians mentality that Ben won with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Ben's best seasons, Bruce Arians was the offensive coordinator, and Todd Haley was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Innovative offensive minds.
Yeah.
So, I feel like a guy like Byron Leftwich, who also played quarterback in the NFL, could probably take Kenny Pickett under his wing and develop him more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he understands Steeler football.
Yeah, he
here
does.
Long enough.
Yeah, he does.
The other guy, I know he's very comfortable in what he does, but I always thought Charlie Batch should be a coach.
You think?
Think back to when Charlie, this is what I loved about Ben. When Ben was the quarterback and he came off the field, he didn't talk to the offensive coordinator first. He didn't talk to the quarterback coach. He talked to Charlie and he talked to Byron when they were his backups.
Yeah.
After Charlie and Byron, he wasn't coming off the field talking to Mason Rudolph. He wasn't coming off the field talking to, Landry Jones.
Yeah.
Then he was talking to the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach. But before then, he was talking to those two guys, when they were his backups. And I always thought, if Charlie Batch is able to take a young Ben Roethlisberger
and mold him
a little bit, and Byron Leftwich kind of did the same thing, a little bit later on.
Yeah.
I felt like those two guys would be and Byron Leftwich has taken that decision and gone into coaching. Charlie Batch would, but I would love to see Charlie Batch as the offense, the quarterback's coach.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Charlie Batch, quarterback's coach. Leftwich is offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Because, like I said, if you remember, when Ben came off the field, that's the first person he talked to. Was Charlie when Charlie was his backup, and Byron when Byron was his backup.
Yeah.
Because he just respected them as
I like how Charlie took his role.
Well, they both did. If you remember, Byron Leftwich was supposed to be the next guy in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then he got forced out by David Garrard.
Yeah.
But I remember when Byron Leftwich was I think he was at Marshall, and he had that bad foot. He was in a shotgun. He would throw the ball. His offensive lineman would pick him up and take him down to where the next play was going to be.
That's crazy.
But he just wouldn't come off the field. He had zero mobility. Those offensive linemen worked their ass off for him.
Yeah.
And that was what they did. They picked him up and moved him to the line of scrimmage. It was insanity. So like, I feel like those two guys, like just they know Steeler football.
Yeah.
You know, Charlie didn't play under. I think he did for a little bit under Tomlin, but I mean Leftwich did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So like again, like I feel like it's a good combination that would just they understand the locker room. They understand the
Yeah.
you know. But I would also love to see that, like I said, just change the offense, like make it more dynamic, make play concepts and the route tree and everything about this offense feels like it's something from like when I played football.
Right.
You know. All right, but at the end of the day, my message is outside of a Steeler game, let's leave Matt Canada alone.
No, I hear that.
Yeah, I get it, you know, but like, can you imagine? Like, man, I just want to relax. I'm gonna turn this Penguin game on,
Yeah.
and like, you know, middle of the second period, it's just are they saying what I think they're saying?
Pittsburgh is fired up, bro.
Pittsburgh can be brutal sometimes.
It can be, especially at pit games. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, like,
no, I understand. I understand the frustration, though.
but I'm frustrated too. But I also understand, like, I understand how the Steelers are going to operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all you're doing, and I mean, again, at a Steeler game, it makes complete and total sense. But it's just that thing of like, they're not going to make a change midstream.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
They're, you know, as much as you think they should, they're not. And, you know, they're going to go, you know, in the regular season, at the end of the season, if they don't make a change, then, you know, I say, like, you picket the fucking offices. Like, you know, that I would get. Like, because, I mean, he needs to go. Like, I'm not denying that for a second. Yeah. But at the same time, like you're wasting your breath at this point.
I hear you.
You know.
He's just not a good coordinator.
Well, no, I mean, his offense stinks.
It's terrible.
It does. And I mean, you know, like, I just, that's the whole thing. So, like, I would just beg of you, like, understand the man is still a human being. He has a family. Let's leave him be outside of Steeler games.
All right.
That's my message.
I hear you.
Okay. Can you just imagine, like, I'm Matt Canada, and I like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm turning on AEW on a Wednesday night because I need to relax a little bit, man. I'm worrying about the Baltimore game. Man, that defense, those linebackers are rough, and, you know, wonder what we're going to do. And I'm going to just give me 2 hours. I'm going to relax, and I'll get back to work. You turn it on. First thing you see is a fucking Fire Canada sign in the fucking stands.
What do you think about the defensive coordinator?
I'll be honest, I think he needs to go too.
Yeah, me too.
I
agree completely.
Terrell Austin does not impress me. Like, I think Terrell Austin is getting bailed out at times by how much talent is on that defense.
Yeah.
Like, and I think he got bailed out a little bit by Baltimore itself last week with some, like, they had, 9 drops?
Yeah.
Like, there were guys that were open who dropped balls. I was just like, like, wow, that was a bullet missed. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, I look at that Houston game, and he was just flat out outcoached.
Way outcoached.
Like, ridiculously outcoached. Like, it's just, I feel like the games that they've won based upon talent.
So maybe they need to focus on, like, the coaching versus the players.
Well, yeah. No, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like, I mean, it's like... But also, I feel like and I'm going to hold Tom a little bit accountable for this. Like,
Okay.
there are
Yeah.
rookies. Like, Joey Porter Jr. needs to be starting.
Yeah. Why? Why is he not starting?
They're talking about, we want to ease him in. And
Fuck that, man. He's ready to go.
he needs to go. Like,
Yeah.
you put your best players on the field. If Joey Porter Jr. is one of your best corners, he needs to be on the field. Period. End of story. There's no two ways about it. There are other players like Broderick Jones. Like the only reason he started against the Ravens is because of an injury to Dan Moore Jr. Dan Moore Jr. has been fucking awful. Like in the preseason, I thought, man, Dan Moore Jr. got his shit together. No, he doesn't. Regular season has shown he does not have his shit together.
Who?
Dan Moore Jr.
Yeah.
And Broderick Jones played against the Ravens and was one of the highest rated offensive tackles in all of pro football. Like, didn't let up a single, like, quarterback pressure. And it's like, why is this guy on the bench? Like, you traded up to draft this guy.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the field.
What about Peterson?
Patrick Peterson has been a disappointment, but I think if you get Porter Jr. out there full time, I think you can move Peterson into he can be your third corner then. And then I think you got then you're solid because I think Peterson has at moments I thought his last name was Toast. He's looked bad at times. But I think if you move him inside, I think he becomes a better corner.
What about the guy with the interceptions? What's his name?
I don't know.
His 2 interceptions in the past 2 games.
I can't think. But either way, I feel like...
I mean, these guys are getting burned.
Yeah. I mean, how much of that is scheme and how much of that is coaching? Like, I feel like this is like a... And the scary thing is, like, if they make the playoffs, like, they won't make any changes. Like, I don't root for them to lose, but, like, the best thing that happened to them is to lose.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they somehow salvage this season, and they do get to 10 wins, they get 7 more wins the rest of the way. They get to 10 wins somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you would look... Like, Mike Tomlin's the type of guy would look around and go, it's all working.
Yeah.
We got the 10 wins. We made the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the mentality that the Steelers would have. Like, why are we changing if we got 10 wins?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that thing of, like, you... But how did you get the 10 wins?
Yeah. I don't think Mike Tomlin's going anywhere.
No, like, I'm not saying Mike Tomlin should be fired. But I do... Now, if he doesn't make changes to his staff, next season I think he should be on the hot seat then.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, like, if he goes and he makes the changes to his staff and he finally brings in some innovative minds to take over this offense.
Right.
Look at the defense, maybe make some... Like, I'm not saying you get away from the 3-4, but, maybe you start looking more at, like, a Tampa 2 style offense, that, like, a defense that he likes.
Yeah.
Like, there are changes that you can make without, like, completely disrupting the entire flow of things. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to take Watt and Highsmith off the field. I don't think anybody's, like, saying, well, we should be a 4-3 team. But at the same time, like, there are changes that you kind of have to start looking at and saying, like, yeah, we should probably look at changing this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Especially with how you're running your coverages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
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 So, lastly, it was brought to my attention, and I knew it was going to be there, but Thad asked about it.
Right.
There was a baby crying for a moment on the podcast last week because we recorded at my house with Nancy. All I will say is, for an extended period of time, as of late, Nancy's daughter has been living with us with Nancy's 2 grandchildren. So, yes, we've had a baby in the home. It has been an experience for me. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
So, there we go. Yes, so there is a reason for that. It wasn't just the TV or something.
All right.
All right. Anything you'd like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
Good son.
Well, remember, there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. I can send us an email like Thad does each and every week. And an email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. Make it about the show and not just a bunch of dirty jokes, and I'll actually read your email. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and Mastodon. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give us a Google search. You can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And as always, I want to thank you, dear listener, for taking the time to check us out each and every week.
Hey.
I can't thank you enough for that.
Want to shout out to Tim. Thanks for checking on me.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
The old otter, making sure you're okay.
Yeah.
That's nice of him.
Yeah.
And so on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.